Hi guys, PhoneArena here with the new Verizon Pantech Breakout. This is now the fifth Verizon smartphone to run on their 4G LTE data network. Currently it's also the least expensive at $99 with a 2-year contract after rebate. On the front of the Breakout is a 4-inch WVGA display. When put next to the Motorola Droid Bionic, you can definitely see a difference in the size of the display between a 4-inch and a 4.3-inch, but also allows the phone to be a little bit more compact, which some people may prefer. Up on top is a standard VGA camera, and down here on the bottom are the 4 buttons that you use to access the menu, home, back, and search, but their size and layout does feel a little bit odd, and they also don't come up very bright in dark conditions, so it's a little bit hard to see when it's night out. On the side you have the volume rocker, 3.5mm headset jack. On the back is a 5 megapixel autofocus camera, and on the right side is the camera key, lock button with power, and micro USB port. Overall, the design of the phone is pretty compact. It's only 0.47 inches thick, so it's also pretty lightweight, though it does feel pretty durable. We also like the fact that it has this ribbed pattern here on the back that does provide a little bit extra grip when holding it in your hand. So overall it does feel pretty well made for the price. Despite its low price, the Pantech Breakout is running Android 2.3.3 Gingerbread, and as you can see it has a total of 7 home screens. Moving between them is pretty fluid and smooth, no real delay here. Across the bottom there are 4 static icons for accessing the phone, contacts, messaging, and the app drawer. Also across the front you can see these little bubbles that change color depending on which one of the 7 home screens you're on. You can also press on that and it brings up this little carousel view here that you can kind of go around and choose which home screen you want to go to. Going into the apps drawer, you move left to right on this instead of scrolling up and down. All your apps are going to be alphabetical in here, but you can go into the menu. You can actually change the background on here, which is kind of nice to be able to do. Also, when going back to the home screen here, you can have a nice selection of Pantech widgets on here. It comes up with this little bar down here at the bottom with the different widgets. You can kind of move these around here, choose which one you want to put. So say for instance we want to do one for the music player, just kind of grab that, bring that up here, then it shows you which widget do you want. You want the full size or a smaller size, so maybe we'll go with that one, and it places it right there on the home screen. So all in all, it does really well with the extra widgets that it does provide. There's also a couple different modes. You can save your current mode, and there's also 4 other ones that come included. It's not quite as advanced as what we'd see on HTC Sense, but at least it does give a little bit more of extra customization on the device. Of course, one of the main features of the device is that it works on Verizon's 4G LTE network. We're going to load up the PhoneArena.com website here on the main page and see about how long it takes to load up. And it's continuing to load, loading the flash content and any advertisements that are on the site. Still loading. Okay, so right around 35 seconds on that. A little bit longer than what we'd see on the Droid Bionic, which is about 20 to 25 seconds. But as you can see, the web page uses the WebKit browser, has a pinch to zoom. So nothing really out of the ordinary here with the web interface. Pretty basic, good design. Scrolling is also pretty smooth, but can feel a little bit stuttery at times. Try loading another page here. See, it's still loading some Flash content. Okay, right around 30 seconds on that. Going into the speedtest.net app here. I'm going to run this again. Right now on downloads, we're getting right around 9 megabits per second. And on the uploads is going right around 6. We'll run this again here real quick. Again, right around 8.5 to 9 megabits on the download, and uploads on this time was just under 8 megabits. So data speeds are actually pretty fast on the device. We're also going to run the Quadrant benchmarking app here. I'm going to let this go all the way through so you can see exactly how long it takes and how well it performs. I'll to do some of the 2D and 3D graphics. This one here, so right around 30 frames per second, give or take. And on the planet, it's kind of jumping between 30 and 40 frames per second on there. DNA is right around 30 frames per second. So we'll see what our total score is. Okay, total score seems to be about 1222. So it's a little bit less than the other other 4G smartphones like the Thunderbolt and Samsung Droid Charge, but still not that bad considering the price. Also, the Antutu benchmark, which we ran earlier, brings up a score of 2,765, which is also around average anywhere between 2,700 and 3,000, which is what we'd get with the HTC Thunderbolt, LG Revolution, and Samsung Droid Charge. Of course, the Motorola Droid Bionic is going to get right around 5,000, but that's because it's a dual processor. When we tested out the 5 megapixel camera on the back, the camera actually works well software-wise. There's not much delay, but unfortunately the camera quality of the pictures aren't that good. As you can see, there's some white balance problems on some of the pictures. We also noticed that they tend to be a little bit blurry and grainy at times instead of nice and sharp. When taking pictures inside, again, under low light conditions, it's going to be fairly dim on there, also a bit grainy. Macro can also be a bit of a challenge on there as well. The phone can also record videos at a 1280 by 720p, but the video does look a bit choppy at times and also a bit grainy. This is PhoneArena video using the Pantech Breakout from Verizon Wireless. So overall, the camera quality, a little bit underimpressed, as well as the video quality. But then again, for the low price of the device, we can understand that some compromises had to be made. So when it comes right down to it, the Pantech Breakout is clearly designed for someone that doesn't want to drop a couple $100 on a 4G smartphone. It does offer a lot for the $100 price point. We like that it's thin and lightweight and feels pretty comfortable on the hand, though the 4 function buttons on the front do feel a bit awkward to use. The 4-inch WVGA display is a bit smaller than the competition, but it does allow for the phone to also be a little bit more compact overall. We also like the interface. and the extra Pantech widgets that are included on the device. Also that it's Android Gingerbread right out of the box, so you're not having to fool with Froyo and then an eventual upgrade to Gingerbread. We also like the call quality. There's no distortion or background noises. Calls are pretty clear on both ends, but you do have to keep the volume around medium. Turning it up to high does produce a little bit of a static vibration in the speaker. So keeping it on medium seems to avoid that. But we were a little bit disappointed with the camera quality, not that great. Also, the battery life, only going to get about 5 hours of a continuous talk time on the device, or about 8 to 10 hours under mixed usage. But for the $100 price, it's pretty good, considering that the Motorola Droid Bionic is around 300, and the HTC Thunderbolt is going to run you around 200 to 240, depending on if you buy it from Verizon or a indirect reseller. So be sure to check out our full review of the Pantech Breakout at our website, PhoneArena.com.